Imagine facing every obstacle with the calm of a sage and the strength of a warrior. These 8 Stoic keys will not only make you stronger than others, but also transform you into an unbeatable force in life. Get ready to dominate the art of control and surpass everyone around you. Now let's dive into each of these keys and explore how you can integrate them into your life. Key 1. Don't talk about your challenges. Let's begin with a principle that might seem counterintuitive in today's world, where sharing your struggles and seeking validation is almost a norm. The Stoics believe that when you talk about your problems constantly, you give them power over you. Think about it. Every time you verbalize your difficulties, you're feeding them, making them grow in your mind. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, stated that the quality of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. If you fill your mind with the narrative of your challenges, they will dominate your experience. Instead, the Stoic way is to face obstacles in silence. When you refrain from vocalizing your struggles, you're not ignoring them. You're simply refusing to let them take up more space in your life than they deserve. Silence doesn't mean avoidance. It means focusing on solutions. By directing your attention to what you can control and the actions you can take, you reclaim your power. Imagine a situation at work where pressure is mounting, deadlines are looming, and you feel overwhelmed. It's easy to fall into the trap of complaining to colleagues, sharing your stress in hopes of finding some relief. But what if, instead of verbalizing your frustration, you practiced silence? This isn't about bottling up your emotions, but about conserving your energy for productive action. When you choose silence, you're choosing to keep control over your mental space, allowing you to navigate stress with a clear mind and a focused approach. Key 2. Embrace inner silence. Following on from that, it's crucial to understand that silence isn't just about avoiding talking about problems. It's also about cultivating a sense of inner silence. We live in a world full of noise, both literal and metaphorical. Whether it's the honking of traffic, the buzz of notifications, or the constant chatter of our own thoughts, it's easy to get lost in the chaos. The Stoics understood that while we can't always control the external noise, we have the power to control how we respond to it. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic minds, emphasized that finding calm within is the key to maintaining your strength. Regardless of what happens around you, picture yourself stuck in traffic, frustration building as you watch the minutes tick by. It's natural for your mind to fill with thoughts like, "This is wasting my time," or "I should be somewhere else right now." But in reality, you have no control over the traffic. What you do control is how you respond to it. The practice of inner silence involves taking a deep breath, observing your thoughts without judgment, and accepting the situation as it is. This is a powerful act of self-control. It transforms a stressful moment into an opportunity to train your mind. The next time you find yourself in a situation that would typically cause irritation, pause and focus on your breath. Resist the urge to react impulsively. Instead, observe your thoughts as if you were an outsider, detached and calm. This is how you turn moments of discomfort into training grounds for your resilience. Key 3. Practice constructive silence. Now let's build on that by discussing a third key, constructive silence. The Stoics believed that silence is not only about managing your own emotions, but also about how you interact with others. We live in a society where it's common to criticize and comment on everything, people's actions, choices, and appearances. It's easy to get caught up in this pattern, but Epictetus wisely advised, if what you're about to say isn't more beautiful than silence, don't say it. What does this mean for you? It means choosing to withhold judgment and criticism of others, not as a way of ignoring the world, but as an act of wisdom. Every time you criticize, you shift your focus outward to things you cannot control. You invest your energy in matters that don't contribute to your growth. The Stoic approach encourages you to channel that energy inward. Instead of speaking about others' mistakes, ask yourself, what can I improve in my own actions? When you do this, you're not ignoring the world, but engaging with it in a more productive way. For example, imagine a colleague who constantly makes mistakes. It's tempting to comment on their behavior or to share your frustrations with others. But what if you chose constructive silence instead? By withholding judgment, you avoid feeding negativity in your mind and create space for reflection. You might realize that the situation is an opportunity for you to practice patience or to lead by example. This doesn't mean you ignore wrongdoing. It means you address it with clarity and composure rather than reacting impulsively. Key 4. Keep your secrets. Another vital Stoic key is discretion, keeping your secrets. In a world where sharing every thought, plan, or vulnerability is common, the Stoics valued silence as a tool for protection. Seneca warned that showing all your cards leaves you vulnerable. By keeping your plans and deepest thoughts private, you protect your mind from unnecessary interference and judgment. When you share your ambitions or personal struggles too freely, you open yourself up to the projections and insecurities of others. Even well-meaning advice can sometimes cloud your judgment and steer you off course. The Stoic approach is to remain focused on your own path, guarding your plans until they are fully formed. Imagine you're working on a new project, something you're passionate about. It's tempting to seek validation from others by sharing your progress, but what happens if they criticize your approach or doubt your abilities? Keeping your goals private shields you from these distractions, allowing you to work with clarity and determination. Remember, the Stoics weren't against sharing, they simply advocated for discretion. It's not about mistrusting others, but about understanding that your growth and focus depend on maintaining control over your own narrative. Key 5. Do good without recognition. Let's move on to a practice that's deeply challenging but transformative: doing good without recognition. In today's culture, there's a constant pressure to showcase every act of kindness or accomplishment. Social media feeds are filled with stories of charitable deeds, all posted for the world to see. But the Stoics believe that true virtue is not about applause, it's about integrity. Seneca said, "Virtue is its own reward." The act of doing good should come from your principles, not from a desire for recognition. When you seek praise, you make yourself dependent on others' validation, and that weakens your resolve. Imagine performing an act of kindness, helping a stranger, offering your time to someone in need, or supporting a friend, without telling anyone about it. The satisfaction you feel in those moments comes from knowing you're living according to your values, and that's far more powerful than any external applause. By practicing this kind of humility, you build an inner strength that's unshakable. You no longer need others to affirm your worth because your actions align with your principles. It's not easy, especially in a world where visibility is equated with value. But when you learn to act in silence, you liberate yourself from the constant need for approval. You become the master of your own purpose, guided by your inner compass rather than the opinions of others. Key 6. Don't talk about your achievements. Another key Stoic practice is refraining from boasting about your achievements. The Stoics taught that true satisfaction comes from the effort, not the recognition. Epictetus emphasized, "It's not what you say that defines you, but what you do in silence." Sharing your successes in search of validation or praise makes you vulnerable to external influences. When you achieve something meaningful, the temptation to seek acknowledgement can be strong. But what if, instead of announcing your success, you simply let your actions speak for themselves? By remaining silent, you keep your focus on the process, ensuring that your motivation remains pure. You're no longer acting for the applause, but for the fulfillment that comes from consistent effort and growth. Think of a gardener tending to their plants. The gardener doesn't go around telling everyone about the work they're putting in. They focus on nurturing the garden, watering it, and ensuring it thrives. Over time, the results are visible in the form of blooming flowers and healthy plants. Your life is the same. When you focus on your growth without the need for praise, the results will speak for themselves. And those results, cultivated with humility, will be more fulfilling and long-lasting. Key 7. Avoid speaking about others. Now let's talk about something that's easy to fall into but crucial to avoid: speaking about others, whether it's gossip, judgment, or criticism. Marcus Aurelius advised that the best way to defend yourself against criticism is to avoid criticizing others. Engaging in gossip not only drains your energy, but also distracts you from what truly matters, your own growth. Every moment spent discussing the flaws of others is a moment lost in your own journey of self-improvement. Imagine your energy as a limited resource. If you waste it on things outside of your control, like the actions of others, you diminish the energy available for your own progress. The Stoics remind us that we should focus our attention where it counts, on improving ourselves, cultivating our virtues, and developing resilience. When you feel the urge to criticize or gossip, pause and redirect that energy inward. Ask yourself, how can I use this moment to learn or grow? By choosing not to engage in negative conversations, you build an environment of positivity for yourself and those around you, promoting growth and collaboration instead of conflict. Key 8. Protect your weaknesses. Finally, the Stoics teach the importance of protecting your weaknesses. It's natural to have vulnerabilities, but the Stoic approach is to work on them quietly. If you openly share your weaknesses, you risk being manipulated or judged. Instead, turn inward and transform those weaknesses into strengths in silence. Let's say you struggle with stress at work. Instead of vocalizing it to everyone, which could lead to misunderstandings or added pressure, focus on developing strategies like meditation, breathing exercises, or time management techniques. The goal is not to hide from your vulnerabilities, but to address them in a way that fortifies your inner strength without exposing you to external interference. The Stoic philosophy teaches that resilience is built through action, not through words. When you choose to work on your weaknesses privately, you maintain control and ensure that your energy is directed toward growth. Over time, you'll find that those areas that once felt like weaknesses become sources of strength, allowing you to face new challenges with confidence.